Yo, yo, yo! What's happening, people? We're back in the chair for the Instagram Live. How's everyone getting on? Are we bored? Are we learning new things? Are we working out more? Are we eating better? Are we getting some fresh air? Are we thinking? Are we trying to improve ourselves? Are we coming back stronger? I hope all of those things are. So, we are going to be talking very shortly to Amir Khan. Of course, one of the great figures of British boxing. Yeah, sorry, I know I need a haircut. It's terrible, I know. World boxing, great stalwart, and all of a sudden, he's online. Going to be connecting now. Oh, he's declined me. Oh, Amir, you declined me, my friend. Send another request in. That was a good start, though, to be fair. So I saw a lot of stuff. Amir Khan did an interview the other day talking about whether he has another fight left in him. What's the plans for the future? That's what we're going to talk about with Amir today. We'll give it another go. We're trying to connect now. Here we go. Hey,
Sorry, man. Sorry, mate. I pressed the X button. I thought something happened. So
mate, the good news is I've noticed that now you've had a shave, you look a lot younger.
You know, I look back
So I'm going to
25
try and
again.
do that myself, mate, because we're stuck here in isolation.
I think the last time, when was the last time you had a shave?
Oh, mate, this yesterday morning. You know, us real men, this is how we grow our stubble. Do you know what I mean?
That is going back again that quick. Hey,
how you been? How's life treating you? What's happening? I know you. Listen, you love to be on your travels as much as me. You're always flying around here, there, and everywhere. What's it been like for you? I know it's been getting to spend a bit more time with the kids.
Yeah, it's been quite hard, but to be honest with you, I think it's a good thing as well because I've got to spend quality time with my family, my wife, my kids, obviously newborn baby as well. So, and you know, I'm spending more quality time with them at home, taking them out in the garden, you know, do some exercises with them. See, I got 2 plots in my house where I've got another annex, so I can walk across there. Sometimes I can get my alone time there, make my phone calls and have my little chills. But overall, I mean, you do get bored. I want to hit the gym properly. Like, I've got a little gym at the house, but I want to hit a proper gym so that way I could do a proper workout, you know, hit some bags, do some shadow boxing and look myself in the mirror and stuff like that while I'm shadow boxing. But it's hard, you know, and I can just imagine there's a lot of people are probably watching this, but they must be getting so frustrated at home. But you have to stay strong through this period of time now where we have to stick together. And I think it's great what you're doing here, Eddie. Doing one of these is going to help people.
We're just trying to keep people with content, keep people talking about boxing. What's your advice, Amir? You've done everything in boxing, but to the younger fighters right now, you know, we know that boxing can save lives. It can keep you disciplined, give you that regimental lifestyle.
Yeah.
But obviously, some people now, they don't have the camaraderie of a camp. They don't have the time to go in but now more than any time, try and close the gap on the fighters above you and try and improve yourself somehow.
Yeah, that's it. And the best way of doing that, you know, for me, the best thing was to move away. Sometimes being around your comfort zone, being in the UK for me was a little bit difficult. A lot of people knew who I was. My friends were always over at the gym. You want to impress them. You're not learning things. And, you know, whereas when I went to America, I was away from everyone. I was isolated in a training camp on my own with just my gym mates. Everything around that camp was about boxing, and I was watching fights and watching things, and you know, whereas you're away from all the distractions. And I think that's where a lot of the young guys have to do now. They have to kind of lock themselves away because look, nowadays we have all this Instagram, Twitter and everything, and I think it can take your eye off the game sometimes. If you start reading the comments of people, don't let that get to you as well, because sometimes that can put you right down. And I think with these up and coming fighters, they need to stay a little bit more focused on the boxing, forget what people are saying. Because I've been one of them fighters where if I let people, all the shit I get and all those things I've read about myself, if I let that get to me, it would have destroyed me. But don't ever let those things get to you, because you know what, it's only going to put you down.
I've seen you get loads of stick. Listen, so do I on social media as well. Do you not read? Have you stopped reading it now? Are you a case where?
No, I do read it. Look, you do read it. You probably read it as well, Eddie. You know,
I do read it. Yeah,
we do read it.
It's different for me because the fans are my customers.
right?
yeah,
They're also your customers, but really you're a fighter,
mm,
so you're your own
mm,
man, and you're in
yeah,
the toughest job of all. So
yeah,
really, I feel worse for fighters getting stick because listen, I'm just a chubby geezer who goes to the office. You're putting in the miles, you're putting in the hard
yeah.
spars, you're putting in the runs, you're
And people
dedicating your
don't
life to
realize
the sport.
that.
No, I know.
And I think that's what people need to realize. Look how hard we work. Like you might fight, you might win some, you lose some, but there's the work that we've put in 10 weeks of training camp away from your family, away from your friends, and you're literally waking up in the early hours in the morning, going for a run. You come back home, you sleep again, you eat, and then you train again. I mean, it's hard, man. It's not easy, and still to get stick for that. And you think, if people knew my life, really, they think you live this lavish life and everything, but when you're in training camp, it's not a lavish life, man. I mean, even yourself, Eddie, you probably travel all around the world, not because you like traveling. People probably think you're traveling because you love it, but no, it's work.
Mm,
You travel for work.
sure. Well, listen, one thing we're not doing at the moment is traveling. So
That's it.
I saw a really interesting article yesterday. I think it was
Yeah.
Boxing Scene or something like that, talking about your future, and
Mm,
talking about the fact that you don't know what's next or when's next or if there is anything next. And that was something
exactly.
that sort of grabbed me from the article, that you're not guaranteeing right now that you're not done in the
Yeah,
sport.
I'm not done yet. No, no. I still have a couple of fights left in me, one or two at least. I just feel that I've been in the game a very long time. I've had almost 40 fights, I've had 39 fights, and I've had a brilliant career, and I love the sport to bits. But I think there's gonna come a day where I want to do other things as well, because it's hard for me to do my charity work and do all my appearance stuff and travel the world, because on back of my mind there's always boxing. I've always got boxing back in my mind. I can't really chill out properly. But till I say I'm done from boxing, then I can feel free. Then I can feel like I can do whatever I want. But at this moment in time, I still want to fight, and we just don't know how long this coronavirus is gonna last. Is it gonna last a year?
It
Is it
sits
gonna
quite
be a
well
little
with
bit
you
less?
though. Like when we talk about your break with Ramadan. Now that's something
Yeah.
that's always been sometimes difficult to schedule your fights around. But actually,
Yeah.
this might actually work in the benefit of you because no one is going to be fighting during that period.
So really, for me to get, hopefully, if after Ramadan, once Ramadan's over, end of summer, maybe that's when they'll allow sports happening again, and hopefully then I can start my training camp. So in a way, I think it's a setback for everyone. Normally, every year I had a setback because of Ramadan. I have to stop training. I miss a big payday. I miss out a fight. But still, I think sometimes having a bit of a break, I think this break might do a lot of good for a lot of people, because it'll give them a chance to kind of realize where they want to be, what they want to do in the life, in their career. And also, I think it'll be good in a way where give their body a rest as well. Being in
Mm.
the gym every day, sometimes you don't need that. I know a lot of young fighters who are always 24/7 in the gym training their ass off. You don't need to be in the gym every day. You need a
Yeah,
break as well, man.
you know what? One thing I just want to talk about is sparring, because there's been a lot of
Yeah.
people talking lately about sparring and the effects that
Yeah.
hard sparring can have on. And there's a kind of school of thought now. The old school of thought is the hard spars are absolutely integral to the training camp, and the kind of like the new thought is maybe you shouldn't have too many tough spars. Where do you
No.
stand on sparring? You've been around, you've been in so many different
Yeah.
camps. What's
So
your
every
advice to
coach is
fight?
different. Yeah, every coach is different. I work with all the coaches from Freddie Roach. So Freddie Roach is a coach that likes hard sparring, and literally a week just before the fight, you stop. So your last spar is on the Monday, and you fight on the Saturday. So anything can happen then. You can get caught. You're losing weight. Your skin's a little bit thinner. But I think with sparring, see, every time I was in the wild card, it was always a war. I was sparring guys like Provatnikov and all the top elite Russian fighters. They were all there, and everyone wants to knock your head off. I was even sparring Manny Pacquiao. I mean, Manny Pacquiao wasn't going easy. It was a full-on hard spar. We were head-to-head and toe-to-toe. But I just feel that it does take a lot out of you. See, when I had that fight against Peterson, I just felt gassed out, man. I think I'd left it all in the gym. And I think sometimes when you have too many hard spars, and this was 12 rounds after 12 rounds we were doing, sometimes doing too many rounds in the gym, you can leave it in the gym as well. So I think you might want to ease it off a little bit, take your foot off the gas. Sparring's about, getting the timing right. As soon as you got the timing right, and you've got as I've got older, I've kind of realized it a little bit more. I think sparring around about 150 rounds or 100 rounds for a training camp for a fight is probably enough. So I've done like 300 rounds of sparring, 400 rounds of
Mm,
sparring, and that's where I felt flat.
mm.
So you don't want to leave in the gym.
We talk about Manny Pacquiao there. when you talk about your career now moving forward,
Yeah.
you've achieved so much. Is it the facts of you want, the legends, you want the biggest events? I mean, people talk about Manny Pacquiao. There's a lot of messages coming in about your friend Kell Brook as well.
Yeah.
People still want to see that fight. Is it just, you want, if you come back to this sport now, it's got to be the biggest fights possible.
It has to be the biggest, definitely, man. I mean, it's what motivates me now. When you've made so much money in the game, you've done so well, you've won the world titles, what's going to motivate you? It's going to be the big fights, and obviously the big name fights. Now, I think a Manny Pacquiao fight is huge. That'll be massive anywhere in the world, wherever it was. Then you've got other names like you got Kell Brook. I think that's another massive fight in the UK. But obviously, what's the situation with that fight now? I know he's gone up to 154.
Yeah, he's sort of at 54, but he made it so easy last time. I believe he can still make 47. I still think it's a disadvantage for him at 47, as it was in the Errol Spence fight. I think it's quite an interesting situation because I think that Liam Smith summed it up quite well, where he was sort of saying that the situation Liam Smith's in with Kell is a bit like Kell's in with you. Whereas you want to look, you're looking at Pacquiao. Everybody wants you to fight Kell Brook in the UK. Liam Smith wants to fight Kell Brook really bad at 54. Kell Brook wants to fight you or fights Crawford.
Yeah, makes sense.
So it's like an interesting situation. But listen, for me, as we know, that we're not going to go into it, to a situation with Kell Brook. For me, to come back to that is a massive stadium fight. If he stays at 54, man. I do like the Liam Smith. Where do you sit on Brook Liam Smith as a fight?
See, I sparred with Liam Smith when I was training for, which fight was that one? I think that was for the Crawford fight. I think it was for the Crawford fight. I was sparring with Liam Smith, and he's strong, comes forward. He's a very good fighter. His timing is amazing. Look, at 154, probably not one of the biggest hitters, but he is quite strong with his body pressure and his weight. That you use his weight and put that pressure on you. I mean, him and Kell Brook would be a 50-50 fight. I mean, it would be a good fight. I think Kell's accuracy is very good. I think timing-wise, I think it'll be like a game of chess if they fought each other. It'll be a good fight.
Okay. Well, listen.
Would you ever make that happen?
Yeah, I'll make it happen.
Come on, both of you know, so.
Yeah, I still want to make you V, Kell, but we'll see where we get with that when we start back. But listen, I appreciate you coming on, mate. We're going to move on to another guest. Thanks for everything. Take care of yourself and your family.
Thank
we'll
you very
speak
much.
soon.
I appreciate it.
Cheers, Amir. Bye, mate.
Bye.
Amir Khan, listen, love him or hate him, what he's done for the sport has been incredible. And from people that have achieved everything to people that are on their way to achieving much, pleased to shortly have on Terry Harper, the WBC IBO world champion. For me, one of the most exciting female fighters right now in world boxing. Huge fan base. Terry, if you're out there, press the invite button, please. Log on, off, log back on if you need to. Of course, we know she had a fight due with Natasha Jonas, which is postponed. We're going to see that fight probably in July now, or hopefully late June. We'll go to the... There we go. Okay, we're dialing in for Terry. Terry!
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm all right. You bored yet, or what? I mean, you're someone who lives in the gym.
Yeah, I'm just in my little makeshift gym now. I'm not that bored yet. I'm kind of used to just training and then going home and napping in between. So I'm all right at the minute. I'm coping quite well.
You were one of the first fights that actually got postponed. Of course, we know that March 28th was postponed, and then April came quickly after. How was that? How's that been? I mean, you've been in a situation where you've known for a while your fight's off now, and you don't know when that fight's going to be rescheduled. We hope late June, early July, but just about staying disciplined now and ticking over.
Yeah, I were excited to go back to Doncaster Dome. For me, it's a special place. That's where I made my professional debut on the smaller shows. So I were excited to go back there. And
Terry, I don't know if you can make your way over to. I don't know if you could make that's better. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Oh,
It gets some of that fresh Doncaster air. It looks unbelievable out there.
Yeah, so
How's life changed for you two? I mean, we know you see your first house in the background there, but just day to day, you know, going up from working in the chip shop to becoming world champion. I think your story is a really big success story for British boxing.
yeah, I feel quite lucky, to be honest, and I'm like proof showing doing something that you love. It's got massive what do you call it? I don't know, my mind's gone. But yeah, it's doing something that I love, and the rewards are coming with it. So I'm just grateful, and that's just from being in the gym, 100% dedicated to the sport. And yeah, I'm grateful for every opportunity that I'm getting.
I had Katie Taylor on the other day. She was speaking so highly of you, you know, talking about the fact that you're just so young at the moment and you're getting better. I get the feeling with you, and I know Steffi feels the same way, but you're not even really close yet to fulfilling your potential or your ability. And really, this is just a start.
Yeah, definitely. Every time I'm in that gym, I'm learning something new, and I can see when I'm watching old videos back, like from a couple of years when I first turned over me on the pads or when I was sparring, I kind of cringe a bit, thinking, oh, I really like that. So I can see how much I'm improving, like on a daily basis. So I'm excited. Yeah, I'm 23 years old. I've got a lot of time. I've got a lot of time ahead of me to perfect my craft, really.
Next up for you, Natasha Jonas. Katie was talking very highly of that fight, so she doesn't think we've seen the best of Natasha Jonas yet in her pro career. Obviously, they duped off in the amateurs, especially in the Olympics as well. I know people are talking about unifications and, you know, maybe even a Katie Taylor fight in the future, but no overlooking Natasha Jonas in this fight. And obviously, an all-English fight for a world championship is great for women's boxing as well.
Yeah, definitely. Me personally, I think Tasha's going to be one of my toughest tests yet. Obviously, she's got the advantage of being southpaw. It's not something I'm used to, and she's an elite amateur. As people saying they've not seen best of Tasha, I don't think she's really been in the ring with anyone and proved herself yet. So I think when we go head to head, I think that's when you'll see the best of us both.
Going to ask you about another fight as well. I know you're never going to talk badly about anyone yet. We're working on that for the press conferences for the big undisputed fights. But talk us about a fight that might have relevance to you in a year or so's time. Is Katie Taylor against Amanda Serrano. Great fight. 7-division world champion against the undisputed lightweight champion as well. How do you see that fight playing out? And I think it's a very dangerous fight for Katie.
Yeah, it's the best fight in the best, as you can say. And that fight's just going to be nothing but excitement, and it's a true 50-50 fight. Both of them don't want to be losing, so they're going to leave it all in. And we were planning to, so obviously I was fighting Tasha. We were planning to get over to Manchester and watch the fight live, but I'll be excited to watch that fight when it does happen. And obviously they're both potential opponents for the future, but for now we're sticking at the super featherweight division and. Yeah, just learning my craft.
British female boxing just absolutely flying. I mean, obviously around your weight class as well. But talk to us about those fighters coming through. Obviously, you got Savannah Marshall fighting for the 175-pound world title. You got yourself. You got Shannon Courtenay. You got Ellie Scottney, who's making her pro debut soon. Chantel Cameron as well, up at 140, going to be fighting for the world championship as well. But just so many different fighters right now. And talk to me about that domestic division, pound for pound, you know, with Savannah and Chantel as well. Some really good talent.
Yeah, man, there's a lot of great female talent coming through, and Matchroom and Sky Sports are doing great stuff for us female boxers, obviously putting us on these big shows and where we belong, really. So yeah, I think Chantel Cameron's a very good, strong boxer. Obviously Savannah Marshall and stuff, but again, they could be possible future opponents when I look at moving up weight. But yeah, keeping my eye on them all in all the divisions, because I'm a big super featherweight, and in time I'll end up moving up. So
yeah, that is true. See you moving up to lower. And I love the way the women are fluctuating between the weight classes as well, taking chances and moving in to the big fights. Just in your division at the moment, super featherweight, we know you got Natasha Jonas yet, but what do you think of the other champions as well? I know we've had conversations with Eva Brodnicka as well, another world champion that could be a potential unification fight for you.
Yeah, so for me, I'd like to fight Brodnicka, obviously. I think it'll be a good fight. There's obviously Amadou. She's a tough
She's a good
opponent.
fighter, yeah.
Yeah, there's Michaela Mayer over in America. So yeah, there's a lot of talent in this weight category. So it's just exciting, and I'm just focusing on one fight at a time, and I'll just fight whoever I get told to fight.
Good. Well, listen, we love your attitude. I'm very proud of you, Terry. You've done fantastically well.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing you back when we're up and running, hopefully end of June, early July.
Yeah, thanks for
All right,
having me.
Terry, see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Terry Harper there, current WBC IBO world champion. Next up is PBK, Josh Kelly, who is actually the first fight to be delayed. His March 28th fight against David Avanesian. And, you know, the bad thing about Josh Kelly is he's so handsome and he's going to make me look extremely ugly. This guy has it all. Just going to see if he's online yet. Not yet. Yeah, so obviously his fight with David Avanesian called off. Great fight. This is probably one of the fights that I was looking forward to the most, because what I love about these Olympians is when they come out, they get the opportunity to learn their craft, box all around the world, and then every now and again they go into a situation where they have to be tested and tested to the highest level. I think that Mark Wright, mate, that's Mark Wright, my skinny brother. What's happening? David Avanesian, since that first fight was pulled off, has gone from strength to strength. 2 big wins against Laranja in Spain. And I think he's a real handful. But if Josh Kelly is as special as we think he is, as special as Adam Booth thinks that he is, he can come on and make a big statement in the 147-pound division. Still waiting for PBK. Still waiting. Do you know what? As it goes, is Josh? Let's have a look. He's not online, so do you know what? I'm going to let's bring a little random guest in. I think. What about our latest signing? Akib Fayaz from Manchester. We'll give him a little. Hey!
How's it going, Ed? You all right?
You've only got a couple of minutes because we're on a schedule here.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to bring you on, say hello to all the fans. Akib Fayaz, our latest signing from Manchester, huge talent, trained by Jamie Moore. Welcome to the team. The platform is yours.
Yes, thank you, Ed. Nice introduction there. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait to be out now. Just waiting for this coronavirus to be over and just looking forward to it.
Obviously, last time out, you boxed up at the lightweight division. We had a chat after the fight. Looking to come down and box somewhere around that featherweight division for sure.
Yeah, that was the plan initially anyway. Obviously, the last fight was a lightweight, but, you know, coming down slowly and steadily, and Jamie's saying within the next sort of year or so, touching the featherweight or super featherweight division, whatever's more comfortable.
Well, listen, when we get back, you'll be there. Big nights ahead for you in Manchester, my friend. Just wanted the fans to see you. Follow this man. Big talent. And we'll see you soon, my friend.
Cheers. Thank you, Ed.
Thanks, Akib. Bye, mate.
See you.
Right, good to drop that in. Future talent there. Right, PBK, where are you? Here we go. PBK in the house. This handsome individual from Sunderland. I think he's had a skinhead, actually. PBK.
How are? What you been doing?
How are you, lad? Sorry, mate. Well, you weren't there, and
I've been trying to get in your chat for ages.
Okay, mate. Sliding in.
You've been sitting there, you all there, lad.
Mate, I love that, but I wish I had a hairline now. I'd take mine straight off.
You can. You've got to get yours done. Be sweet.
Listen, I'm going to be off to Dubai soon to get it all patched up, mate. Patched up. How's things? We know. I was just saying there, your fight was actually the first fight that was cancelled. Unlucky, because a couple of weeks later you would have got away with it. Spoke to Adam, he was gutted, said you're absolutely flying in training. How disappointing was that? And obviously keeping yourself in shape now.
I was flying. Like that was the disappointing thing. I was proper flying. Like I did everything and more out of rest of us. And I don't know, mate. It was just disappointing. Obviously, I can't really complain too much because he had the same thing last time happened to him. So, but this time it's on like a big scale, so it's mad. But it's hard because I feel as always come to a good peak, and to mimic that camp again could be hard. So I have to get myself in gear when I get back in the training and all this is done, and try and sort of do that again, because the way that camp went there was unbelievable. Like, I was ready to take on anybody really.
What's the mindset of a fight? Obviously, you guys, you got a great gym there with Adam. You all bounce off each other. You know, you got Conlon who's piping up on the chat now. You know, you got Shannon. He's piping up. Yeah, Michael. He said you support Newcastle.
Is he mad? Is he mad? Is he mad?
But how difficult is it? How difficult is it not being in the gym? I know obviously you're still training, ticking over, but how hard is it to get that motivation when you literally as a fighter you just don't know when that day's coming yet?
That's what I'm saying. And like, if you think about it, we're gonna at the end of this, you're gonna have what? Say you're talking 8, maybe 12 weeks of not being in the gym, and then you've got to come in to the gym and you've got to try and make a quick turnaround for a high grade fight. It's going to be hard work. I mean, I feel as though personally it could need another camp, because to come in at a level which is a European level, it's at one step away from a world title is big. So I feel as though I probably need another camp when I come back, and that's a disappointing thing, because it's not just set us out for a couple of weeks and it's not being postponed for that long. It's going to be postponed until, like you said, until summertime or somewhere at the end of there. It could be further, we don't know. Like you say, it's absolutely a nightmare, man.
I said that fight, one of the fights I was looking forward to the most. Everyone was talking about that fight as well. Just the perfect test for you. Avanesian is a real handful, but that is the fight to take you obviously to European champion and probably top 10 in every governing body as well.
Yeah, mate, it's mad. That fight just elevates us, and with the platform we've got, like after that fight, you never know what happens. You never know who's gonna pop their heads in and say, "Listen, I want to fight." Do you know what I mean? So it's a massive step up, but at the same time, it's a massive gain. And I think everyone knows now what sort of fighter David Avanesian is, because I don't think the casual fans truly knew who he was back in the day and didn't give him the credit he was due. So he's a quality fighter, man. But look, all these tunes coming in. He's keep off here when I'm there. Get off the boys.
But talk about another guy who's actually, although you generally find a little bit of beef and bad words said back and forwards, with you and Conor Benn, like, I know there's rivalry. There seems to be respect as well. Your amateur pedigree's on another level to his. He came out, he had a handful of fights in a shed in Australia. He came out of his old man's names, grafting well. People starting to see the improvements with him now. People starting to give him a genuine chance to beat you, or even be in a competitive fight with you as well. That fight, if you both keep winning, could be a really, really big fight for 2021.
Oh, mate, lovely fight. I'd love that fight. Obviously, we've talked before, and I'd love that fight. And he's coming on. He's coming on, and he's got a good name. So that would do well at the stadium, like that would. So be all right.
Also, one fight that's been sort of teased in the past. We know you are different weight classes, but you against Lewis Ritson, I can't help thinking. Has all the ingredients. I mean, you got obviously, and one of the issues with, we know he has a massive support up in Newcastle. You got your support in Sunderland as well. It's sometimes difficult to stick you both in the arena there in Newcastle. But to do that fight, I mean, whether Lewis moves up from 140, you come down a pound or two or whatever. But I just feel that, in terms of for the region, you against Lewis Ritson. I mean, if you can all both get to world level as well, it's a monstrous fight.
Mate, unbelievable. Like, that sells out any stadium, and that sells out Newcastle or Sunderland, do you know what I mean? But it's one for the future. It's one for the future there if Lewis wants to move up or anything like that, then do you know what I mean? It's there. It's a no-brainer if he was at the same weight, but obviously he's doing well in what he's doing. I wish him all the best what he's doing with his career at this weight.
I'm just going to throw a couple of fights around your division. I'd just like to get your opinion on a few things. Talking about Conor Benn, right. Do you believe he beats the likes of Johnny Garton, the likes of Chris Jenkins now, or do you think they're still risky?
They're all tough, risky fights. I mean, Conor's game, and like you said, he wants to fight people now. He's saying, listen, I want to fight these guys. So when he gets in the ring with them, we'll just see what unfolds, because it's about testing yourself at the right time. I believe it is the time now that he needs to step up and have one of them little sort of tests, like as a name. Do you know what I mean? Like a Johnny Garton or a Chris Jenkins. That'll be a good scalp. If you beat one of them, then you would say, wow. Do you know what I mean? He has stepped up compared to the opponents he's boxed previously.
Amir Khan against Kell Brook.
I don't. Who wins?
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you. I mean, Brooks obviously been busier for now, but mate, I don't know. I wasn't sure.
Kell Brook, Liam Smith.
I'd have to go Liam Smith for that one.
Oh, yeah.
I'd have to go Liam Smith just because his toughness and his grade of. I feel as though he's got that grade and he's cut through at that weight. He's tough, and he's a tough come forward fighter. Him and it'll be a hard fight for Kell.
Two good fights. Just before we go, I want to just get a few comments from you on Mick Conlan, because he's been piping up a lot on this feed. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on Mick Conlan? Overrated? I mean, what do you think?
He's bacon's overrated. That's what it is. He's messaging me all the time going, "What's your missus' recipes? What's she cook? What's her recipes?"
I've seen him.
Terrible. He made it. What cake the other day? He made this something Victoria sponge cake. If you look at it, right, it's all stacked in the middle. It's all.
Did look quite nice though. One of the pictures looked quite nice.
It does. But he's getting me fat. Colin is a wanger.
All right, mate. Listen, thanks for coming on, PBK. Stay active, because when we come back, these dates are going to be coming fast.
Yes, but I'm my man. All good.
Cheers, Josh. Take care, mate.
Bye. Bye.
Thanks for the input, Mick Conlan, as well. We're going to go to a fighter now that I really, really rate highly. A guy called Cash Farouk. Some of you would have seen his fight with Lee McGregor. Absolutely brilliant fight. Personally, felt he should have won the fight, but was a very close fight. Thank God it wasn't on my card, because I would have got loads of stick. But this young man is a great talent. Just trying to find him on the... There he is. We're bringing the man, was due to fight in Newcastle on April 4th. That fight hopefully taking place on June. But how's things being in isolation? I know you love the gym. You always like to learn. You always like to make those road trips.
Right, we're giving it another crack. Is that any better for you? Here we go. I think we're back now. Sorry about that, guys. I've got 4G in it, but I'm not on the Wi-Fi for some reason. I will connect for that shortly. Cash Farouk, let's bring you back into the game, my friend. Right, we're back in the game. Sorry, guys. Can't believe people moaning. Oh, Eddie, this is just not good enough. I mean, bloody hell, Eddie. Okay, no, leave it out, mate. I've had to interrupt the caviar for this one. Cash, he's coming back on soon, apparently. Apologies again, guys. No, I'm not having it. I'm not having it. Right, here we go. We'll try that again. Farouk. Here we go. Bringing Cash Farouk in. Maybe this is, I think still we should blame Cash, because now I'm waiting to connect him. Harvey Ward, take your time, Eddie. Sorry, mate. It's unacceptable behaviour, to be honest with you. Can't believe I've taken the liberty to come on and set this all up on Instagram and not deliver. Sorry, mate. Still waiting to connect for Cash Farouk. Right, we're going to cancel that one. Let's try and get him back on. Cash Farouk, where are you? There we go. Right. Going back to that question, obviously, for you, someone loves to travel around, get those hard spars in. What have you been doing?
We've just been, what do you call it, taking over, just been training at the time, and you know what I mean, and runs and that. Can't really do much, to be honest.
Mate, listen, I know you're not the best looking geezer in the world, but we don't want to see your computer. Flip that screen.
That's all right. Oh, my back's, sorry.
There you go.
All right, can you see me now,
obviously, April 4th for you was the date. We hope that fight's going to take place at the end of June. For you, I think you're a little bit of a hidden gem in that everybody in boxing knows about you. Some people don't know about you yet in the casual fans. Tell us a little bit about Cash Farouk, the background, your story, and of course, how you got to where you've got to.
I started boxing, I think 2010, and, I've been just at this game since, and, we came to this country about, I think, 2002, all my family, and, we came to Glasgow, and, boxing, I think I just picked up and I fell in love with it. Right.
We talk about that last fight against Lee McGregor. Fantastic fight. I know you felt like you won that fight as well. Love to do it again. Great fight for Scottish boxing as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think I would love to have it maybe end of this year or maybe beginning of next year, but it just depends on when this coronavirus goes away and, when boxing gets back to normal, because I've not been in the ring since November. So, by the time I get in the ring, it will probably be in June, or maybe in July or August. So it'll still be a while, and I'll be out the ring about 8 months by the time I get back in the ring. So, I would ideally like it end of this year. I would like a fight before it happens, maybe a fight or two before it happens. And I know Lee's interested as well.
Obviously, that fight was British and Commonwealth Championships. You lost on the night, but there is a line of thought that you're looking at levels much beyond that. Maybe obviously European title as well. And of course, the goal is a lot of people feel you can become a world champion.
Definitely. I think if McGregor fight doesn't happen, I would like to obviously work my way up the rankings. If I get a crack at the European, that'll be great for me. If I get up the world rankings, I'll be really happy. I think the other man to help me get up the way I do.
Some of these governing bodies, these world champions, at every weight class right now, just so difficult. And of course, in your division, maybe none so difficult than the monster Inoue. Great fighter, and obviously, probably by the time you're looking to fight for world titles, he might be on his way up to maybe super bantam or even feather.
Definitely, and obviously, I've still got a few maybe years or maybe a few years before I get up there to world level, but I'm just gonna work my way up, and at this moment, because I've only been boxing for the last 10 years, and I've just hit the British scene last 2 years, so obviously I've passed that, and I was just on my way, taking a step at a time, and getting the right fights at a time, working my way up.
Tell us about what your thoughts are on the importance of great sparring. We know that you've got a reputation for travelling everywhere to get that great sparring. Everywhere you go, people talk so highly of you. But I know that you're a student of the game, and something that you think that is really important to your development is those spars. Yeah,
no, definitely. I think sparring's the closest thing to a fight. You need to get good sparring no matter what. You need to your comfort zone. Sometimes, obviously, you're not going to get the spar your way. You need to have that one to learn where you are, and, in your career. And you need sometimes go through some of the hard spars and not take a doing, but obviously, being tough spars to pick up small things. We'll go back in the gym and work on it. And you can't always have spars your own way, because you're not going to learn like that. You'll always be in the same level. So you always need to go your comfort zone, get good sparring, because it's the closest thing to a fight,
Well, listen, massive future for you, my friend. And obviously, April 4th was your date in Newcastle. I want you to fight in Newcastle, mate, because I cannot tell you the atmosphere. The fans are incredible in Newcastle. So we'll be back soon with a date. And a quick message for the fans out there. Obviously, for the public, for fighters, tough times. No,
I think you just need to stay patient. Obviously, right now, you need to get this coronavirus out the way first. That's the most important thing. You can't be stupid. Going about, just take your time. Be patient, and things will get back to normal.
Good man, Cash Farouk. I'll see you as a future world champion. We look forward to seeing you on the Matchroom shows and Sky Sports and The Zone. Take care of yourself, my friend. We'll see you soon. Cheers, mate. Bye. Live TV, of course. And we're going to see who's up next. I believe in Lewis Ritson. We've got Lewis Ritson. We've got Callum Smith. We've got others as well joining us. Right, who's up next, gang? Let's get the charge on. Right, we're good. Right, we're all good. We're charged. Right, who's next? Matchroom. Who we got? Who's standing by? Lewis Ritson. I see you. I see you. I see you. We're adding up Lewis Ritson. Obviously on that same show as well. April 4th. We're supposed to be fighting Miguel Vasquez. Yes. Well, you've had a short one.
Hello.
I know. Sort of in between. Yeah. Did you change your mind halfway through?
Oh, going very thin on the top, Eddie. So.
I know, mate. Well, aren't we all, mate? Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. How's things, mate? I saw, obviously, April 4th was your day. Wasn't too far away. Bit of a kick in the nuts, but nothing anyone can do. What's the situation now? Just trying to tick over and stay ready?
Yeah, back home from Hartlepool for a few weeks and just hit the gym with my dad 7 o'clock every morning with the old man. Just ticking over, just trying to stay half fit until Fanu gives us the call to go back.
Josh Kelly, he said something quite interesting where he was saying about he had such a good camp and it was such a big fight for his career. It almost feels like he's got to have another camp for that fight. But I understand that. But it's for me, you just don't know whether. I mean, you're scheduled to fight June 27 at the moment, so that's the date that's got to be in your mind. But you just got to stay ready, haven't you? Because one thing you can't afford to do is to need another 10 or 8 week camp once we know everything's back to normal.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, the dates they'll soon be, they'll come thick and fast. So, it's like you're saying, we need to make sure we're staying ready, staying fit. And then when you give us the date, we're ready to go.
Miguel Vasquez, the opponent next time. Good fighter, obviously. We saw him at 135. He was like so widely avoided. I remember, he wanted to fight Ricky Burns when we had him, and I was thinking, blimey, this is a tough fight. It was a unification fight at the time, but no one really wanted to fight him. I feel like he's changed his style up a little bit to become a little bit more entertaining. He's more engaging now, and up at 140, he makes a good fight. No,
he does, and like you say, when I went face to face with him for 140, he seemed quite big. His head was massive. It was even a bigger head than my mate Robbie's. So, and so it's gonna be a tough fight, and it's gonna be entertaining, and the crowd will be excited by it.
Obviously, in Newcastle now, it's just been sensational, like the rise. Everyone knows about your love for Newcastle United Football Club.
Yeah.
We always know you're very opinionated, Ritson. What's the latest? What's the thoughts of the people up there? Or are you staying clean on this one?
I'm saying I won't get involved now. I put a tweet on about last year about Newcastle and I got absolutely hammered. So yeah. I'm staying clean, I'm staying out of it there. We'll just make Ashley out, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, okay. Listen, with the when you look at the division right now at 140, obviously, yeah. You've got the two biggest fights out there, which are Taylor against Ramirez. I really put the other one we've made, which is Prograis against Hooker, in that list as well. I think that's an important fight for the division as well. Your thoughts on those two fights, and who do you see winning those individual fights?
To be fair, we had a slight feeling if we had got past Vasquez, we could possibly have the winner of Hooker in Prograis off you, but we're going to get past Vasquez first. But I think Josh Shearer is number one. I think he's the man, and I think Prograis will get past Hooker.
That's an outdoor fight for me.
No,
that's James's part. I mean, I think one of those world championships could become free if those guys go undisputed. Could be you against the winner of Prograis Hooker. Now that's the big outdoor fight.
Yeah, I think with Josh Taylor now it would have definitely been, but if Prograis gets past Hooker, I think that's definitely a St James's Park fight if we can get it made, and it's one that I'll be more confident of winning.
Where do you think you are now? I always remember when we were joking about when you beat Robbie Davis, and I was saying about the Josh Taylor fight, and you were like posting, going, "Bloody hell, Eddie wants me to get a patient." I was like, "Mate, don't say that. We're trying to sell this fight." But
no, it's like
confidence-wise, like you're only one fight away from having to take a fight like that, anyway, aren't you? Is it just that you're not a guy to just shout from the rooftops and
no,
say
I'm not that type of lad, but I'm a fighter, Eddie, and whoever you put me in with, I'll be 100% confident with the right training. If I come my A game, I'll beat any of them. I mean, like I say, Josh Shearer is the special one out of them, I believe, and I think he's the hardest fight. But if that fight ever got made, I wouldn't be shying away for it. I wouldn't be going just to make the numbers up. I'd be going in there to get stuck in and win.
We had Josh Kelly on recently, and I was just talking about, I really feel that when we come back from this, I feel like fighters are going to be moving quicker, because I think they're going to think, blimey, like you just never know what's going to happen. I need to
You're
get
going to
those
have to
big
because
fights in.
if you've got 2 or 3 fights penciled in this year, or you were hoping, then half the year's gone already. So you need to move faster, and if you want them big fights, take your same opportunities will come, and the dates will be there, and we've got to make sure we're ready and take them.
I know he's at 47 and you're at 40, but you can't help think that one day, and even catch weight, or even for a world championship or something, you know, it's a huge fight for the Northeast. Huge fight. And those kind of fights don't come around very often for the region.
And I think it's a bit like the Conor Brook fight. I think it'll always be there. Even though me and Kelly haven't really talked about it, if you brought that to the Northeast, it would be absolutely massive. And I mean, even for 147, it's not like I'll walk around at that. I'll walk around a lot bigger than that. And I believe there wouldn't be much in it between me and Kelly. And I think it'll be a great fight for the future. And hopefully one day he's down to it and I am.
Yeah, great fight, mate. Great fight. Well, listen, thanks for coming on. Just a quick message to your fans, to the people. Obviously, I saw you with an interesting post, which was literally like this is frustrating for everyone, but this is a serious time. We've got to look after our family, and there is a bigger picture, and boxing will be back.
Boxing will be back, and it'll be back bigger and stronger. So people just got to listen to what my Boris is saying, and stay inside and stay indoors and stay isolated. And hopefully this will all blow over and we can get back there and entertain the fans in some good fights.
Can't wait to be back in Newcastle, mate. Appreciate you coming on. Stay safe. I'll see you soon, mate. Thanks, Lewis. Bye, mate. God, you know what? I wasn't even thinking about Ritson v Kelly. It's a big one, that is. Right, final one. We appreciate everyone staying on. For me, one of the top fighters, pound for pound, definitely one of the top British world champions in Callum Smith. We're going to get him up now. Let's see if he's online. Mundo is online. And after Callum, I'm going to just get one more random. Mundo, what's happening?
Oh, how are you, Ed? You all right?
Mate, how bored are you?
Yeah, I am. Just hitting wallpaper and that.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Little one there, looking beautiful.
Yeah.
Mate, spit at you. Hello. How's things, mate? How's things? Obviously,
yeah, not bad. All good.
We know that your date was looking like May or early June or something like that. So obviously now probably looking like the back end of the summer. Frustrating. I mean, you're a guy who generally boxes twice a year if the fight's big enough anyway. So maybe not the biggest delay, but still frustrating nevertheless.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Obviously, I got in, started camp, started training, aiming for May, and then when this happened, it's kind of, if I knew exactly when I was aiming for, it probably wouldn't be as bad. But I don't even know what month to aim for. Never mind what date. So it's a bit frustrating, but we're all in the same position. Everyone's in the same boat. We've all just got to just keep ticking over, ready for when we do get the green light to just all. I think it'll be a lot of shows back to back. So you've got to just be ready for one of them.
I think I was just saying, like a lot of people, I think, although you're in that position anyway, fighters are going to be looking to jump into bigger fights sooner now because they've lost half the year anyway. We know it's a short career anyway, but for you, that's kind of irrelevant because you want the biggest fight possible anyway. But
position I was in anyway, I've always wanted the biggest fight possible, the best fights out there, and I still stand by that now. The minute the boxing gives the green light to go ahead, I'll be looking for the biggest fight possible for me.
we talk about the Canelo stuff. I mean, obviously, we spoke every day during that period. It was one day you were getting it, one day Billy was getting it. Now, maybe none of you will get it. But, it's, you know, at the time, everyone was concentrating so hard on that Cinco de Mayo fight with Canelo. Now, even that one's up in smoke as well. But how was that for you? Because I know I was obviously having to update both sides and stuff like that. And I think if it's any consolation, you played it perfectly anyway. You know, put a number together which, you know, probably undervalued you in the fight anyway, but you wanted that fight and were prepared to pay maybe less money than you thought you deserved for that.
Yeah, it was a weird situation because obviously it was an exciting situation to be in. Oh, you're in a 50-50 chance of landing the biggest fight possible. It was also frustrating. It dragged on for quite a long time, but it's one of them. I didn't get the fight, but I've no regrets. I've done everything I could to get the fight. I even lowered my number to lower than what I believe they were ending up paying Billy Joe, and they never got the fight. So I just don't think I was ever getting the fight anyway. But I say it was exciting at the time being in the negotiations, but it is what it is. There's other fights out there for me.
Well, before we go on to the future, I want to just go back to the last fight as well. Great fight in Liverpool with John Ryder. A lot of people didn't give him a chance in that fight. You knew it was going to be a tough fight. A lot of people thought that fight could have gone either way. you watched it back? Your thoughts on the result, the performance particularly, and
Yeah.
you know, your thoughts about that November fight?
Yeah, I watched it back straight away the next day just to have my own opinion on how I want to come out saying what I thought of it when I hadn't really watched it back. And it was kind of similar to what I thought on the night. Obviously, I was massively disappointed in my own performance, but I thought the result was the right result. It was a lot closer than what it probably should have been and what a lot of people expected. But I won the fight, in my opinion, and I'll still stand by that.
Obviously, it's difficult not to give John Ryder the credit as well, but
Yeah.
if you do feel like you underperformed, do you feel that was a case of, you know, a mixture of John Ryder being maybe overperforming
Yeah,
and
listen,
also you being
yeah,
undermotivated for that? I mean, you know, I don't
yeah, I
want to
think a
discredit
bit
him,
of
but
everything. It's hard to put your finger on one thing. Oh, there's a few things I didn't perform to my own standards, but John Ryder was very good. Probably the best John Ryder we've ever seen. So when I say I underperformed myself, it's not taking it away from John. He done what he had to do. It was the biggest fight of his career, and he turned up and he delivered, and that's all you can ask from him. I just feel the best version of me beats the best version of him.
Asked Danny Jacobs the question the other day, which was, I don't know if you saw it.
Seeing it.
How did he rate the super middleweights as well? But I want to get your opinion on the other champions as well. There's 3 other champions outside of it, of course, Benavidez, Plant, and Billy Joe Saunders. How do you rate those 3 in terms of ability?
It's hard for someone.
Danny Jacobs is watching. He's just giving us a wave. So you might be fighting him next.
Yeah, I thought that's a good fight. It's a very good fight. By watching it, it sounds like he wants one more at the weight before a big one. But it is a fight I'd love, and it's hard to split the other champions. I think they're all unbeaten and they're all very different stylistically. I think, you know, obviously Billy Joe's talented, slick mover, not the biggest for the weight, but he's skillful. Plant's a good mover, but good boxing ability. I don't think the biggest puncher, where Benavidez probably doesn't have the boxing ability the other 2, but he's the biggest puncher out of them and probably the more spiteful. So fight with either of them. They're all tough fights, but they're all tough fights in completely different ways. They're stylistically very different, but you know, 3 very good fighters and fights I'd love to fight, whether it's 2020 or 2021.
So we'll talk about Daniel Jacobs because he's online and watching as well. But great fight for you. One that we've talked about as well. Definitely one I can see happening. And a big fight in America as well. We know we looked at the Anfield fight for the summer, and it's a big UK fight as well. I know Danny would love to fight in the UK, but that's also a big fight for Madison Square Garden or New York particularly.
Yeah, it's a massive fight. You know, I've got a lot of respect for Danny. He's a big name. Both
Are you saying that just because he's online, or?
No, I've always said that he's a good fighter. I like him inside the ring and outside the ring. You know, he seems like a gentleman, and he's a good fighter. Former 2-time world champion. I believe I'm the best in the world at 168, and I beat anyone in the division. And he's got a big profile in the States and in the UK. So it's definitely a fight. Now, if I can't get a fight with another champion, a unification fight, then it's probably the fight that makes sense more than any other one.
So if I could give you your dream, I know that let's take Canelo out of the picture right now. And by the way, with everything going on in the world, you can't even rule out that you end up getting the Canelo fight next. But if you could fight one of those champions, who would you pick in the 68 division?
Any, whatever one can be made. Let's say the 3 of them are probably as good as each other. They're all good fights and they're all world champions. So
I do think you against Billy Joe is a great fight for British boxing. But I do
that's probably the biggest fight is domestic.
But I do think you against Benavidez is a brilliant fight.
I think that's an exciting fight. 2 big ones for the weight, and think it'd be a good fight to watch. That's probably the best one to watch stylistically.
Well, mate, listen, thanks for coming on. Love to the family. And in touch soon. Stay ready. Stay ready.
Yeah, I will do. I will.
Right, cheers, mate. See you later. 168-pound WBA Ring Magazine World Champ. You know, I'm just going to have a little look who's on, because we are due to wrap it up here. But as you know, I love to give you great value for money. With Daniel Jacobs, obviously, we chatted with him yesterday. Who else we got on here at the moment? Do you know what? We'll give him the right to reply. I love always inviting people, because sometimes people are sitting there just in their cacks, not even ready for a live. So we're going on to Liam Beefy Smith right now, just for I'm going to just go a couple of questions on a few random people. Beefy ain't accepted yet. You know that he's sitting there. He's now Beefy. Did you just go and get changed? What? Did you just go and get changed?
No, I went offline to come up when I popped it back on.
Yeah. Listen, we're going to do something with you next week anyway, but I just want to get a couple of quick questions of people tuned in. We had Amir Khan on earlier, talking about a real 50-50 with you and Kell Brook. I think you said it well in the fact that you wanting Brook is a bit like Kel wanting Amir, and he's looking at Pacquiao, and Kel's trying to fight Crawford, and risky fight for him, maybe without the reward as well. But Josh Kelly picked you over Kell Brook as well.
Yeah.
Just a few words on that fight. We know you're sensible enough to know how the game works, but
Yeah,
obviously
I do,
a big fight.
Yeah, that's why I get people saying, "Oh, he's ducking." Yeah, he's not ducking me, and he's not scared of me. He's fought Golovkin, but I do feel he's scared of losing to me. He's a bigger name than me domestically. He's probably a bigger name than me over in the States, but he's scared of losing to me because it probably ruins what his achievements have done. And the same with Khan. I think Khan's probably the biggest domestic fighter before Joshua, to make a name in the States. And I think Khan's probably scared of losing to Kell. So that's why I've always judged it as Khan's scared of losing to Brook, and Brook's probably scared of losing to me. That's always the way I've looked at it.
Mm-hmm. And when you talk, listen, one thing I know about you, you know your boxing inside out. Some people might not know that, but when you talk about that 54-pound division right now, it's kind of blown open, hasn't it? Like, it got to the stage where it was locked up with Jarrett Hurd, and Charlo as well. Now, particularly with Rosario and also Texiera, like few guys that, listen, and they're quality fighters as well, but definitely guys that are out there that are beatable world champs at 54.
Yeah, you've got people who are getting old. You've got people who are struggling with weight now, and it's blew wide open. And now I think you've got a division with a lot of world-class fighters, whereas you've had some world-class fighters, but then you've had elite champions where the division's really locked up. Lara was like that at one stage, but he's a little bit over deal now by the looks of it. And the same now, you've got new champions, Rosario, Texiera, two who a lot of fighters just below them will fancy the chances with him. That's why I think it's going to be exciting again over the next 12 to 18 months.
Do you think Texiera beats Castano?
No.
No. So you fancy Castano to beat him for the title, and then listen, you against someone in a final eliminator next for the mandatory to the winner of that.
Yeah, well, as it stands now, Castano's 1 and 2. So as long as I keep busy, unless they order a final eliminator, then if I keep fighting when we're allowed to fight again, then I probably should be next in line for the winner. Obviously, after a voluntary defence.
You were due to fight around sort of May time, likely to be sort of back end of summer now. How difficult is that for you? We know you've got loads of experience. You've been around a long time. Just keep mentally motivated and keep ticking over and stay ready.
Yeah, it's just the hard part now. Obviously, we know now it's not going to be till the back end of June or July. So the hard part now is to keep yourself active and keep training when, there's not much things you can do really. Get out and run and bit of shadow in the garden. There's not many things you can do. So that's the hard part. What's going to be to stay ticking over until you can get back into a gym properly.
Good stuff, Beefy. Well, listen, mate, thanks for coming on.
Nice one, Ed.
We'll be back soon. Hang in
mate.
there. See you, mate.
After. Take it easy.
Bye, mate. All right, guys. We're just going to have a little look who else is watching. Do you know what we're going to do? We're just going to go on one of our other latest signings. Manchester's an important city for us. And got a lot of good young fighters coming out of there. Especially Zelfa Barrett, who we've just recently signed. I'm not going to do too many of these because the plan is over the next couple of weeks to sit down with all these guys. Zelfa is now putting his gear on because he was sitting there stark bollock naked, probably. We're just connecting. We'll give him a couple of more minutes, and if not, we're going to miss him. Zelfa not ready. Right, people, listen, it's been a pleasure. We've been on now for just over an hour, I think. And we are going to make our way to go and do a little bit of homeschooling. All right, people, so thanks for coming on, joining us. We'll be back soon with another live. We'll be getting all our fighters on over this period. Stay safe and stay ready to all the fighters out there. Be ready for the call. Cheers, guys. Take it easy.